Oh man, let me see if I can find us.
That's what I'm doing.
Right there. It's percolating. Here we are. We are live. Thanks for tuning in.
I don't know why mine always delays.
Yeah, mine's a little bit delayed too.
There it goes.
I can do that. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Why is it? It's always weird. We are glad y'all are with us. We, don't forget, are giving away these Rocket Siphon Broadheads. The link is under podcast 80. I may be able to put it under here too. Give me 1 second. Actually, I can enter broadhead. Oops, size broadhead giveaway here. I'll put it in the comments. Paste. Boom. There we go. Let me click on it, make sure it works. Oh yeah.
What's going on, Dean?
So if we're giving away this pack of broadheads into March right here. I just put the link in the comments. And it's also in the comments of podcast 80. Let me see if I can put it in the comments of this one. Maybe.
What's going on, Matthew?
What up? I think it'll let me do it right here.
You got some strap of some sort.
Some kind of tie strap Partain brought a while back, I think. Save. Alright. Now we got links everywhere.
What's going on, Richard?
Richard, Western Nebraska is where Matthew's at. What kind of temperature y'all got there? We had almost a 70-degree day here. It was kind of warm. We got on the shorts. I think we're about to the South Carolina early summer.
Yep.
The way it's feeling.
I don't know, I looked at the weather a while ago. It's supposed to be in the mid. After tomorrow, it's supposed to be almost 80. And then I think we cool back down to the mid 60s.
I'm still surprised we hadn't had a snow, but maybe we just won't have one.
Yep.
Usually it's late February or first week or two of March, but we're getting to the point of no return. We found out today, if y'all listen to the podcast, we're talking about PSE. Luckily, we are keeping the same rep we got a couple months ago. They hired him with the company they're using, so that's a plus. Let's see here.
Richard says they've been around 8 degrees centigrade and gale force winds.
Let's see. It hadn't been too windy here. Sometimes this time of the year it is pretty windy.
Hey, a little bit of a breeze this morning.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I think Richard should talk to us about English tea. Somebody that we know a couple of years ago had bought this different types of tea, and she'd been to England and was telling me all this stuff about it, and I really don't remember any of it, but I remember one of them I tried and I really liked, but I don't know anything about it.
Matthew
70
said,
to 50, big snowstorm, good Lord, 35 inches.
Richard's a coffee drinker, so
I just can't get into the coffee.
I like my coffee now.
I like the smell of it. I've tried it. I can do like some flavored style coffee, but I really deep down want to drink black coffee, but it's just so bitter, and I'm used to like sweet Coca-Cola. That's what I've kind of got off of it, thank God, but Coca-Cola was my thing. I was always chugging Coke. What's up, Muddy Ducks?
Hey, what's up? I love my black coffee now.
Black coffee. Muddy, did that guy ever get a hold of you? I think his name was Jeff about that tumbler. I think I'm gonna send him about one more email, and then we may redraw at the end of March or something. Because I've still got everybody's name saved. Sweet tea is, I guess, a southern thing, but we have always drank it. I mean, it's just normal. So, like, I remember me and my wife went on a cruise. Well, we've been on a couple, but like, I remember the first time they just had unsweetened, tea, and we drank it, and we're like, "Good Lord, this is awful." But it's just,
It's
like,
bitter.
it's bitter, and it's when we make sweet tea, you put 2 or 3 cups of sugar into about a gallon of tea brew, and it's gonna be good and sweet. But
yeah,
put a pinch of salt and bitter. Okay, I'm gonna try that. But what I'm also worried about is I'm gonna one day figure out how to like coffee, and I'm gonna love it, and then I'm gonna be hooked on the coffee because of the caffeine or whatever. One time, me and TJ went up to North Carolina and shot. It was probably somewhere between 12 and 18 inches of snow they had, and we got to shoot in it, and it was pretty fun. But it was weird because it was so bright, and
I remember it being cold.
we had on so many clothes. I remember I had to wear an arm guard because I had on so many clothes to try to get my stuff out of the way. But
yeah, that was fun.
is it drunk hot or cold? It's drunk cold.
Mm-hmm.
I've drank hot tea from that lady I was talking about a while ago, but other than that, I don't know that I have ever drank hot tea.
Normally you get...
What's up, Brad?
I mean, I've drank some hot tea, but normally it's like green tea
Yeah.
or English tea or whatever. I mean, it's...
Make iced coffee with a concentrated coffee called Javy. Now that's the weird thing. I like some iced coffee, all kind of different types. I guess about 15 years ago, somebody gave me an iced coffee from, I think it was like Baskin Robbins, and I was like, "This is good," and it was on the sweeter side. And then now I'll drink all kind of iced coffee. Like I remember Bilo, which is a grocery store that's going out of business here, and Food Line's buying them out, but they had this Dunkin' iced coffee, and it was on the bitter side, but it was cold, and I kind of dealt with it. I don't know. Summertime sun tea is amazing. I think the way I got on tea, in case you were wondering, is Richard, he's over in England, and I said something about tea, and now we're talking about tea.
Yeah. But
You caught us live. Used to work for Bilo. I love Bilo. That is my go-to grocery store. And we really had several. The 2 closest ones, one just converted to a Food Line, and then the other one is probably the closest to me. It's a Super Bilo, and they are closing it down on April 15th and said they don't have any plans to reopen it. But across the road, 10 years ago, a Food Line had opened and ended up closing down, and I found out Food Line still owns that building, so I think Food Line is going to open back up over there, and Bilo will just be gone.
what's going on, Samuel?
What's up? Samuel, I think you emailed me, and in my head, I responded, but I don't think I really did. Let me look. It was a limb question, I think.
I can't remember, like in Texas, do they have sweet tea in Texas? Because, once you get up above,
Yeah.
like for us, it's normally when you start getting above going out of Kentucky is when they start switching over from sweet tea to unsweet. But if you eat at a Cracker Barrel little country restaurant, they have sweet tea. I don't care where it's at.
Samuel actually sent me 2 messages. 70-pound limbs. I don't know if you found those yet. I'll text the rep tonight or tomorrow and see what he tells me on that. And where is it at? Chronograph, the Caldwell Ballistic Precision Chronograph. I have used one of them, and to be honest, it was a little bit sketchy. It was that second one we had at Bucks and Bass, and like you'd get readings kind of all over the place. And it could have just been that one. That's the only one I've ever messed with. The Pro Chrono stuff I've got a little more experience with. We've got really two here. I got one I got a backup just in case. And then I had in the past when we worked at the other shop, we had a couple of those. Let's see. I have one of those MP microtune devices. I saw on your bed. Have you figured a way to reduce the wiggle? No, that's the only thing I've got against that OMP vice is the wiggle and the like when you lean it forward, it kind of wants to take
jolt.
Yeah, I guess jolt. It's still probably my favorite vice. Every vice has got a good and a bad. That's kind of the bad of that one, which is not that big a deal. Really love the Baker vice. It's just, which I think he makes some kind of fine-tuned thing now, don't he?
I can't remember. I know he tinkered with it.
You got to kind of wiggle it to get it just right in the Baker vice. But the Baker vice is great if you're changing limbs because it holds it in the middle by the grip. But like if I had to pick one, it'd probably be one of the OMPs. And that micro tune has been working pretty well.
I just know on Baker's, if you need to bump it or anything, when you can move the bow in the handle. So that's the only thing I don't like about it.
Yeah, I've messed with the Ram micro tune. What's going on, Kentucky fishing dude?
What up?
But yeah, and somebody else, who else came out with a vice? One of the vices I wanted to buy but didn't buy, and it's kind of the same design as the Baker and the OMP with that ball. That was I can't think of the name of it.
I know which one you're talking about. I can't think of the name.
Because it was expensive, and it was one of the first made like that. It was I'm drawing a blank. Let me look.
Last Chance has a vice.
K-Tech. K-Tech made a vice. Kind of on the same thinking as that. What's going on, Brad? I mentioned it when we first got on, but I put it in the comments and the description, and it's back on podcast 80 is the link to put your name in to win these Rocket Broadheads. We'll draw for them at the end of the month, the very first of next month.
Hey, Vanessa.
Vanessa is on our live feed.
Mm-hmm. Got to behave now.
Uh-oh. We ought to throw out a question for Vanessa.
Oh.
How much longer will the red beard get?
I don't think it's going to get too much longer. It's starting to curl.
We ought to put a poll up and say, what length? Do we need nipple length? Do we need top of shirt length? Or does he need to trim her back down?
I want to trim. Well, I got to get a haircut tomorrow night. So I'm probably just going to trim it a little bit. That's the only bad thing about it is it curls. I seen something, I don't remember where I seen it at, but they make a beard straightener. Like a straightening iron.
It, yeah.
And I'm like,
Y'all gonna come on here and TJ's gonna look like ZZ Top.
Vanessa says she ain't worried about the beard, it's just my hair.
Are we talking like he needs manscaping or on his head or?
Vanessa, you ought to know better than say that. Oh Lord, no! We ain't getting no wax near nothing on the face.
That would be a good live feed.
No, we ain't doing it. Mm-mm.
She said take the hat off.
Yeah, it looked like a mop.
Woo!
Well, I think the last haircut I had was probably back in October, November. But
let's see here. Where's that? No response to the manscaping comment.
you probably won't get one.
I was just seeing if anybody else had emailed questions. But yeah, I was saying at the beginning of the feed, we were talking about PSE on that last podcast. We ended up today finding out we get to keep our rep, the newest rep we got a couple months ago. He's been hired on with the rep group that's going to rep PSC bows now. So I'm glad at least we'll have a familiar face. So that's a plus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Richard, I wear a hat pretty much 24/7. I only take it off when I sleep.
I had a hat phase. I had a old Matthews hat that I wore. I still got it somewhere, old black one forever. And then for no particular reason, I'll still wear one occasionally, but not usually. I ain't really got nothing against hats. Me, either one, I got to where I'd get a headache from wearing a hat, and then I got to where, like, do I push my hair down or do I push it up? And then when I push it up under the hat, my hair looks crazy. But most part, I'm hat free. I need to get some archery shack hats made. Speaking of that, I had some made probably 3-4 years ago, and they went quick. We got those Richardson hats, the pretty nice looking ones, and I had somebody local embroider them, and I think they were brown with the green shack logo or something white. But I've had people ask about them, and I just really hadn't thought about it.
I feel the same way, Richard. I feel naked without it.
Speaking of naked, I have felt naked because I didn't have my knife. Eric that gets on here, he may end up on here tonight, but he's a local guy, but he sharpens knives, and I sent my knife with him, and he got this joker razor sharp. So maybe if he gets on here, we'll give him a shout out. Have you tried the Total Peep sights? Which one is that?
I can't remember.
I know we've tried a couple. Let me look it up. Total Peep sights. We have. That's the one Brookie ended up with.
It was?
Okay. I ordered it.
Yeah, Samuel back. I had to take it off at the supper table at my nanny's house. But she normally now, she's got where it really don't bother her. Used to it bothered her a lot. You couldn't wear, even my papa was the same way. You couldn't wear it in the house, and it was like with a hoodie on or a jacket. If you walked in, you know, you'd sit there, you wouldn't be there 5 minutes. They're like, well, take your jacket and hat off and stay a while. I'm like, well, I'm getting ready to go. But yeah, it's still.
I meant to say the Total Peep. It was just kind of big and bulky, but Anthony that helped us some there, we put it in his bow, and he really liked it. I mean, I shot it. I didn't have a whole lot of experience with it. He really liked it. When I ordered it, I didn't realize it was so kind of bulky when it came in, but maybe I should until the ducks get t-shirts. I need to get everybody a t-shirt. I promised Stanley one, Muddy Ducks, a couple other people that came in. We need to get my wife on here, and y'all can pressure her into doing it, because she makes them. We bought her a couple years ago, like she could label the side of an 18-wheeler if she wanted to, and she's got presses and all these printers and crap. And I've bought 2 or 3 dozen shirts, and was like, hey, when you ain't working on one of the other deals, can you do these? Mm-hmm. So I'm putting it in her basket. I'll have to get her on here. What else is happening archery? Nothing really archery-wise this week. It's been kind of.
No, it's been kind of dead, and
it's weird. The string orders had kind of slowed down for a week or two to a manageable rate, and then all of a sudden, about 2 days ago, I don't know what has happened, but Lord have mercy, ding, 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 they're going wild.
Has anybody listened to to John Dudley and his, what is he calling it? The training for TAC, or he's calling it something. I can't.
I meant to look, but I still hadn't listened to it.
I still hadn't either.
I mean, I think it's probably a good deal.
I hadn't, because I don't know how many episodes he's doing, but I know there's 2 of them out there. I think.
Yeah.
I can't remember what he calls it.
It won't be much longer, and we will be tacking.
Richard, they actually did not stream the ASA on their YouTube channel. The only way you can stream it now is through the Cam's Facebook page or the Sportsman's channel. Plan of attack, that's it. Because I hadn't looked on YouTube to watch it. I just pulled it up on their Facebook
I
page.
just brought it up, and now they just got like Senior Pro highlights 2021.
I got you.
So it's a 3-minute video. So I guess you had to watch it on whatchamacallit.
Yeah. But if you go to their Facebook page, it's still on there, and that's where I ended up. If you do Facebook, that's where I ended up streaming it.
When's the next ASA? Let's see.
April 20th.
Dang.
I mean, it's a good ways off.
That's right, because they moved the one till August
Mm-hmm.
because they were worried about COVID. Yeah, Paris, Texas, April 22nd, and London, Metropolis, Coleman, and then Alabama.
Well, they won't have the one in right there on the base, from what I understand.
Yeah.
I think they put a.
I'm just looking. I hadn't even read this. COVID procedures. Everybody's got to wear a mask while not competing. 6 foot should be observed when possible. Chairs and tables in the commons area will be limited.
Well, I know they had them packed in there pretty good for the shoot off when I watched it.
Yeah. I don't know if I've got the Sportsman's Channel on any of my streaming stuff I pay for or not.
I think the only way you get the Sportsman, well, and they just put the shows on there, that My Outdoor TV is $100 a year.
I looked into that a while, about 3 or 4 years ago, because they came to the ATA show. And I told them, I said, can I forget, I was wanting to pretty much have it where we could put it on in the shop. And then they said something about, well, I don't know if you can do it in a business or commercial setting. And I was like, well, I don't know if I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Which I guess I could do it, not tell them, but I was just asking. Lancaster, apparently hotel there's a word. It's one thing about Lancaster. There's been a couple instances where bow companies have said, just for instance, you can't sell our target bows or whichever bows online, but then let Lancaster do it, and that, to a certain degree, probably is not good. You know what I mean? Even PSE, and I don't even know if this is still a rule, but a couple of years ago when they kind of tightened down on their online stuff, they said no Pro Series bows, no target bows online unless you spend, and it was like 25 or more thousand, I forget the exact number, but I think it was $25,000 just on target bows. Then you can put them online, and I thought, what sense does that make? Because somebody could technically just buy a bunch of target bows, dump them online, you know. But then the little guy that's buying a couple, just hoping they sell, he's screwed, you know. So I don't know, and I'm sure. I mean, with the buying power Lancaster's got, you know, I'm sure they can really pull some stuff. But and I mean, we got a dealer account with them, and we order some from them, and you know. And I really, as far as that part of it, we have a real good relationship with them, but it would suck for them to start kind of cutting or undercutting dealers to where we'd be like, okay, we'll find somebody else. But
Well, I think if I remember right, I think they still got to sell them for map or
Yeah,
so they can't really.
because I know they can put the Matthews target bows online and
Mm-hmm.
this, that, and the other, but I don't know.
Oh yeah, Lancaster is swinging. I mean, they swinging some big weight in the archery world.
Yeah, I mean, even look at kind of what they did to Bow Junkie. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They come in and was like, hey, we'll handle all this stuff, but we're gonna be the only one. And
Mm-hmm.
it was like, if I remember right, this was about 2 years ago now. But old Greg Poole was like next day flying to one of the ASA shoots, and they called him and was like, don't worry about coming because we're not gonna let you come film it or whatever.
And what indoor shoot was it that I remember there was a big stink about
I can't
that he
remember.
got in?
I know what you're talking
Was it
about.
Vegas?
It could have been. It just seems to me the more coverage the better, but I mean there's a lot of bows out there. We still get a lot of older Matthews in that are fine. We'll put a string on them or whatever, um, switchbacks and even older than that. And I mean really there's no need to upgrade a lot of times. Just keep what you got, keep shooting it. I mean what we kind of tell people is sometimes you'll notice in the past few years the let off kind of got adjustable and a little more comfortable sometimes, but other than that, maybe a few more feet per second. But just thinking of going limb driven for a new rest. I don't know. Hansky versus Vapor Trail. That's going to be a hard one. That's a hard one.
I mean, it's a hard. I mean, the Vapor Trail is going to be if you're comparing the Vapor Trail like Gen 7X to the Trinity Hunter, the Vapor Trail is a little less bulky, but I mean, I've got a Gen 7X on my bow right now, and I haven't had any issues with mine. But on a hunting bow, I mean, because the Trinity Hunter and the Vapor Trail pretty much same price.
Yeah, like you said, the Vapor Trail is a lot lighter, and we hadn't had any trouble at either one. I think the Trinity or the Hansky in general is over-engineered, but it's stout. But the Vapor Trail also is made. I mean, there's no corners cut.
No. The only thing I will say I like about the Trinity Hunter and the Trinity is it's got that little
capture bar.
Well, no, it's got the little, what would you call it, where you can, like on the Vapor Trail, you have to loosen the screw if your cord stretches.
Oh yeah, the little tent pole thing.
Yeah.
Where you just whoop, and the cord stays tight.
Yeah, and I like that a lot better than I do having to undo that bolt. But
what's going on, Jeff?
I mean, it's not a deal breaker by any means in my book.
Yeah, I like to watch that review. The cams are leaning bad. I know. I mean, not to put down any bow brand, but supposedly 2 or 3 years ago, Lancaster got in with Obsession bows and ordered a good number of them. And when they came in, just from what people I've talked to said that the cams were leaning so bad, they called them and was like, "What have you sent us?" And they sent them back. And then I don't really know what went down, but I think they just kind of said, "We're good. You can keep them." And another guy we know, another shop, not a local to us, but he got in with Obsession too, and was kind of ill because I think the IBO numbers were way off and cams were leaning and all that, and he ended up sending them back. But I think with these binary bows, these companies really need to pay attention to that cam lean, because we've seen some doozies of several brands.
Yeah. What about the ripcord lock versus the Trinity?
I mean, the ripcord's nice because it holds your arrow better. You know what I mean? That's the big thing with it. But as far as like, it's almost two different categories, because like to me, the Trinity is built like a tank. You're not going, it's a bomb-proof type thing. Yeah. But even with that capture bar, your arrow can flop around. But with that lock, it's more like a QAD type thing.
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere. So for hunting, probably the lock, if you're worried about your hair flopping around. Yeah, you could take it, just unbolt it from your bow, and hit the deer in the head with it. She gone.
Yeah.
But
I mean, like I said, I like Hampski and the Vapor Trail. I mean, you really can't say.
yeah, I've been running. I mean, I've been running the Trinity on my tournament stuff, and the Gen 7 or Gen 7X on the hunting stuff. It's kind of where I've been. Hand me that. Can you reach that Trinity? I got to put this one on that.
Oh, hit the camera.
I'm gonna put this one on that Nexus 6. I got it. It's been sitting back here waiting on me.
I did it again.
But yes, a stout wrist. It is a stout wrist.
I'm still running the original limb driver on mine from Vapor Trail.
Yeah, I shot that wrist for a while. I mean, Vapor Trail, they've made some good. Even the what is it? The Pro V. I think that's what Stanley's shooting. It's a good wrist.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit cheaper, but it's the same. You know, it's got that big V. It's the same concept as the Gen 7. But if you got on recently, I put we're giving away these broadheads at the end of the month. I put the link in the comments description, and it's in the podcast 80 description. A good many make a limb driven. I mean, shoot, I'm really waiting on, and I think this is coming, or at least if they're, in my opinion, smart. QAD should come out with a same rest design, but make it limb driven, and I think they'll have something.
No, Trophy Taker still makes one. Did Trophy Ridge quit making that one that they'd had?
No, they still got one.
Okay.
Trophy Taker, Trophy Ridge, of course, Hansky, Vapor Trail. I mean, there's so many. I mean, there's not as many as a cable driven, but there's a lot out there. Primes, Brad. I know we do have a couple lefty primes in. I think we got a green one, a black with fusion limbs.
I think there's a 4 in there.
Yeah, there's a couple that they just came in very recently. I know we've got a fusion, but I think it's right-handed, solid fusion. Just set my black one up yesterday, and that's the cable on top left pretty close to cam. Yeah, we see it. It's real close. Like it's when we first got those bows, last year when they came out, we were looking at some of them on the draw board like, oh crap, but I mean it's missing it, but it is close. It's real close. So.
And it was just on the one, wasn't it? Or did we see it?
No, I think we've seen it on a couple of them because they, it's pretty dang. Even some of the PSEs when the Evolve Cam came out, you know what I mean? We were like, ooh. I think a couple of those we even had to shim over a little bit because it was barely touching.
Yeah.
But yeah, as long as it's not physically hitting it, and I don't know if you got a draw board or anything like that, but when we get worried about something like that, we'll do it and look at it, and then if it's still questionable, we'll take like a business card or something and make sure it don't, grab it coming back slowly.
Richard, I don't know if Magnus is having production problems. I know that, of course, with COVID, everything's messed up.
We and TJ talking about this the other day. I don't think people realize, how do I word it? About almost everybody we deal with is having some sort of a production backup. You know what I mean? I think somebody had called asking about ordering a bow, and they told us it'd be like 8 to 12 weeks. And the person was like, "What in the hell?" And we were like, "What? There's nothing we can do about it." You know what I mean? And that's kind of even our Black Eagle order. When we have made Black Eagle orders, usually like 48 hours max. It's in the mail. It took a month and a half just to get it in the mail, and we finally got it in. But it's been wild. I just don't think people understand it. Fusion with Sunset Orange strings. I think it looked good. I think it would look real good.
I don't think we have a solid First Light Fusion
in lefty.
Yeah. I think we got the one I think it's Black Riser Fusion limbs.
Yeah. But yeah, there's been Even our distributors are out of a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the one thing that wasn't backed up when we got our big shot target order in, that really came on time. The prime bows have kind of been hit or miss, slowly coming in. I think what hurt prime was last year when Michigan had to shut down for about a month. That put a hurting on them, and even BCY for a very short time had to shut down in Connecticut. And but luckily, I think they have such a stockpile, it wasn't that big of a deal. But it's still kind of a couple colors hard to get.
Mm-hmm.
Eric, I was just about 10, 15 minutes ago, I was telling them that if they needed a broadhead or knife sharpened, you were the man. I'm scared to even touch it because I touched it earlier. And look at that right there. I can't see it on the screen, but I'm just kidding. I did this not with a knife, but I was trying to pull something out of a cabinet. But and I got my finger caught.
Everything's 8 to 12 weeks in the UK out it.
Yeah. Well, even our bear. We still hadn't got that other shipment of bear. We last year had a guy. I won't say he was ill, but I don't think he understood. He was needing some bear crossbow bolts, and we had them ordered for 6+ months. And we were like, we ordered them, and he kept calling and coming back, and we kind of told him we'll call you as soon as they come in, type thing. And I don't know if he didn't believe us or what, but we waited and waited. It was 6 or 8 months before we finally got some in, and that was a mess.
Yeah.
But yeah, if y'all need some broadhead sharpened or a knife or whatever, Eric is on Facebook, and he said if you need anything, to send him a message. I think some of the stout, like fixed blade broadheads, let him work on them. Them jokers, these knives are sharp. He sent me a video of like holding a hair and cutting that thing off. I was like, oh Lord, I don't know that I need this knife back. I've been lost a finger before I dull it back down.
Oh my.
Well, I guess we'll get off here. I'll say it one more time. The link, we're giving away these broadheads at the end of the month. The link, I put it in the comments, in the description, and it's in Podcast 80's description. So go put your name in. We'll give those away.
I never did see, but did Muddy Ducks ever?
No, never heard.
Okay.
And then the guy that won our tumbler hadn't responded to anybody, so I'll email him another time or two, and probably around end of the month, if he hadn't responded back, we'll redraw for it. I still got everybody's names. I could be wrong, but I don't think Eric makes knives. I think he just sharpens them. You too, Richard?
We gonna try.
We had a local guy, Andy Lemire's daddy, out of Walhalla, that made some nice knives and used like deer antlers and all that, but I don't think I have his contact information. I don't know if he's got a Facebook page or not.
I don't remember. I don't know the name.
But anyway, we'll get off here.
Yep.
Get us some dinner. Thank y'all for tuning in. We didn't really have anything exciting to tell you.
No, not tonight.
Other than when will TJ trim the beard? We may only have 7 likes because we're boring.
Yeah.
Tonight was a boring night.
Yeah.
No bow explosions, dead animals.
Nothing too crazy.
Nobody got naked. Well, thanks for tuning in,
Yep.
Kentucky Fishing Dude. We appreciate it. Sometimes we get a little more lively.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll let y'all get back to work or whatever you're doing, and we'll see y'all next week.
See y'all.